Welcome to the Iraqi Dinar Update channel, your trusted source for the latest news, analysis, and insights on the Iraqi dinar. We provide up-to-date information on exchange rates, economic developments, and key financial trends affecting Iraq's currency. Whether you're an investor, trader, or simply keeping an eye on the market, our channel delivers accurate reports, expert opinions, and government policy updates to keep you informed. Stay tuned for real-time updates and in-depth discussions on the future of the Iraqi dinar. A statement from a U.S. politician recently surfaced, claiming that factions in Iraq have now been disarmed. This assertion, while brief, carries significant weight in the context of Iraq's political landscape, its economic reforms, and its evolving relationship with the United States. According to the statement, the United States, in cooperation with Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani and his military forces, has successfully neutralized groups that were allegedly acting as obstacles to the implementation of a new exchange rate within Iraq. The comment suggests that these factions, viewed as adversaries to economic progress, have been subdued, allowing for smoother financial reforms to proceed. The politician emphasized that when an enemy is captured, the first step is to disarm them, both figuratively and literally, implying that these groups were not only militarized but also held significant influence over Iraq's financial policies. To fully understand the gravity of this statement, one must examine Iraq's complex political and economic history. Iraq has long been a battleground for competing influences, both internal and external. Since the fall of Saddam Hussein's regime in 2003, the country has struggled to maintain stability, facing insurgencies, sectarian violence, and corruption that have hindered economic progress. Various factions, ranging from militias with political ties to external actors with vested interests, have played a role in shaping Iraq's financial and political environment. The presence of armed groups within Iraq has often been a major challenge for the central government, complicating efforts to implement financial reforms that could pave the way for greater economic stability and international integration. The mention of a new exchange rate in the statement raises further questions. Iraq has undergone numerous monetary shifts, with its currency frequently at the center of economic discussions. The Iraqi dinar, long pegged to the US dollar, has faced fluctuating values due to economic policies, sanctions, and corruption. For years, there has been speculation about Iraq's plans to restructure or revalue its currency, a move that could have profound effects on both domestic and international markets. If the claim is to be believed, certain factions within Iraq were deliberately obstructing this process, either for financial gain or to maintain their grip on power. The role of the United States in this scenario is another crucial aspect. The U.S. has maintained a strong presence in Iraq since the early 2000s, both militarily and economically. While official combat operations have ended, American influence persists through diplomatic channels, economic aid, and strategic alliances with Iraqi leadership. The assertion that the U.S. worked alongside Sudani's government to capture and disarm these factions signals a renewed commitment to stabilizing Iraq, particularly in terms of financial policies. This could indicate a broader effort to push Iraq toward international financial compliance, potentially under the guidance of institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. The process of disarming factions within Iraq is not a simple task. Many of these groups are deeply entrenched, some with political representation, others with ties to regional powers. Disarmament is not merely about confiscating weapons, but also about dismantling networks of influence that control resources, territory, and financial flows. The statement suggests that these efforts have been successful, at least in part, though the long-term effects remain to be seen. If these factions were indeed preventing a new exchange rate from being implemented, their removal could accelerate Iraq's financial transition. However, skepticism is warranted. Iraq has a history of cyclical conflicts where disarmed factions re-emerge under different guises. The resilience of these groups is often tied to broader regional dynamics, including the influence of neighboring Iran, ongoing sectarian divides, and the economic hardships that fuel militia recruitment. True stabilization requires not only disarmament but also integration into a unified national framework that prioritizes economic growth over factional interests. The financial implications of a potential exchange rate shift are also worth analyzing. If Iraq is moving toward a revaluation or a free-floating currency, the impact would be felt across multiple sectors. A stronger dinar could improve purchasing power for Iraqi citizens and attract foreign investment, while a mismanaged transition could lead to inflation and market instability. The Iraqi government's ability to manage this shift effectively without falling into previous pitfalls of corruption and misallocation, will determine the success of such reforms. Furthermore, the geopolitical implications of U.S. involvement cannot be ignored. The statement implies that Washington is actively shaping Iraq's financial trajectory, a stance that may not sit well with all Iraqi political factions. While some view American support as necessary for modernization, others see it as a continuation of foreign intervention. The balance between external assistance and national sovereignty remains a delicate issue in Iraq's political discourse. Looking forward, several key questions emerge. How will the Iraqi government ensure that disarmed factions do not reorganize under new leadership? What safeguards are in place to prevent economic sabotage from other actors who may oppose a new exchange rate? How much influence does the United States truly wield in Iraq's financial decisions, and what are the broader implications for regional stability? The statement that we have captured the enemy is a powerful one, but its true meaning depends on how events unfold in the coming months. If the disarmament is comprehensive and lasting, Iraq may finally have a pathway to implementing long-awaited economic reforms. If, however, this is merely a temporary setback for these factions, then the cycle of obstruction and instability may continue. Ultimately, Iraq stands at a crossroads. The success of its financial reforms depends on strong governance, strategic policymaking, and a commitment to national unity. Whether the actions described in the statement lead to meaningful progress or serve as another chapter in Iraq's complex history remains to be seen. Thank you for tuning in to the Iraqi Dinar Update channel. We appreciate your support and engagement as we continue to bring you the latest news, analysis, and updates on the Iraqi Dinar. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an important update. Stay connected with us for real-time insights, expert discussions, and market trends. Until next time, stay informed and keep watching for the latest on the Iraqi Dinar. See you in the next update.